You can leave if you want to, yes.
Okay, thank you. But if I'm free to go, I'm free to stay.
No, you're not free to stay.
So picture this. It's been a crap day at work, you're tired, your mind's wandering, you just want to get home, relax, and unwind when bam, cherries in the rearview mirror. To add insult to injury, they say they've heard reports of you being a dangerous driver and they ask you to step out of the car.
Go and face that way.
I promise you.
Go ahead and face that way.
I'm on my way to a doctor's
Okay, go ahead and
appointment.
face that way. Go ahead and face that way for me.
Now your first thought is, what the actual hell? Your second thought is, you know it's a freaking lie. And check it, there's something that most people don't realize. Cops are gonna lie to you, and it's perfectly legal because you are their paycheck. So today we're gonna look at 6 common lies cops will tell you to try and extort you for money. We will be lenient on you. Just tell us your side of the story. Ugh. August 2nd, 2005. 911 got the call that a man, Michael Martinez, was run over by a truck. The guy was bleeding from the head and died after reaching the hospital. The driver of the truck, Nathan Robbins, was transported to the sheriff's office for questioning. Well, he was a neighbor and a friend of Michael. Now, the interaction between Nathan and the cop is interesting. Just watch this small part of the interrogation before we proceed with the explanation of the situation.
I didn't have time this morning. He's bugging me,
Okay.
and I've had enough of him. Last night was enough, and so I was aggravated with him.
That's fair enough. I think the last thought through your mind was, I need to get to work, I gotta take care of my family, I don't have time to with this guy. And
I had those thoughts going.
So in the footage, you guys can see that the cop is empathizing with Nathan, listening to his side of the story. Before this conversation, he assured Nathan that he understood his emotions and had some sympathy for him. Getting this empathy, Nathan opened up a bit. He started responding to the cop's questions that led him to confess and be charged with murder. Okay, the major takeaway for this story, I guess, is number 1, don't be a jerk-faced killer. But also never tell your side of the story and don't get into the trap of a cop's sympathy. Remember, they can never, ever have sympathy for you. The cop's job is to make you confess anything. So don't speak to him unless your attorney is there to represent you and is there to filter all the crap. Just tell them that you're exercising your 5th Amendment right, remain silent on each and every one of their questions. And as much as you might want to tell them to stuff it, well, you'll catch more flies with sugar than you will vinegar. Coming in at number 2, you're free to go, but you're not free to stay. Like, what the hell does that even mean, am I right? Okay, June 4th, 2021. A man sitting in his car in a residential neighborhood enjoying a GPS-based game. I think we all know what we're talking about here. Now suddenly, a cop approached him and asked what he was doing. He replied that he was playing a game, but the cop said that he had to show his ID because he suspected he was a thief. Getting offended by this question, the guy asked the cop, "Am I being detained?" In response, the cops gave him this answer.
Am I being detained or am I free
You're
to
not
go?
being detained. You can leave if you want to, yes.
Okay, thank you. But if I'm free to go, I'm free to stay.
No, you're not free to stay.
Here's the thing. In this case, that cop is full of crap and is lying because constitutionally, officers can't ask you to leave from a public place except for very few situations. Here's the thing. The law states that it's an individual's choice to remain in a public place if they want. It's part of the freedom of movement and liberty rights. So, officers can't ask you to leave because they're feeling a certain kind of way. But here's the deal. The Constitution has ruled out a few situations when police can ask you to leave a public space and you're obliged to follow their request. So let's break it down. When you're committing an offense or causing an alarming situation in public, for example, becoming part of a protest or fighting on the street, think also of your Uncle Chet and drunken disorderly conduct. The second reason, if there's an emergency like an explosion or a fire. A third reason, if you're in the proximity of any sort of danger. The fourth reason, if you're causing an obstruction in a highway or passageway. And number 5, if you're violating any kind of court order like a restraining order. So just remember that the 14th Amendment is only applicable in public places. If you're on private property and the cop asks you to leave on behalf of the owner, you gotta jog on. Otherwise, you're breaking the law. Number 3 is, I smell some alcohol. Can you step out of the car, please? Here's the deal. This is one of the most common lies at all traffic stops. And a lot of times, this leads to people getting arrested. Why? Because they do what this guy did.
Man, how much you had to drink?
Literally nothing. I took my friend home.
All right, I'm gonna get you out and make sure you're okay driving.
Okay.
Step on now.
This dude was ultimately arrested. Now, that's because he doesn't know his rights here. He was unaware that officers can't demand for you to do anything unless they've got a warrant. They don't have any legal right to boss you around without probable cause. That's why knowing your rights is so crucial, so that you can practice them in these situations and avoid the stupidity that this guy's been through in this footage. Now, why is this lie the most dangerous one and obviously the most favored of police? Well, that's because they lead you to do sobriety tests that are subjective and mostly give wrong results in the first place. These tests are supposed to measure whether you're too impaired to drive. So cops might ask you to walk in a straight line, balance on one foot, or follow a moving object with your eyes. Sounds kinda easy, right? Well, think again. To get a better idea of what some of these tests look like, check this out. Another scary sobriety test that a lot of people fail is this one.
6, 7, 8, 9. Can I come back now?
Yeah.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You know, if you're anxious or you've got any sort of medical condition or anxiety disorder, you could actually misstep and commit a number of mistakes here. And the worst part, you fail the test, and it's hard to convince a jury that you were sober, because these tests are often given a lot of weight in court. Now here, the cop's report would matter more than your own words. Innocent until proven guilty, my butt. So, your best course of action here is just don't participate in any of that crap. When cops start running their mouths, just exercise your right to remain silent and ask for an attorney or a public defender. Oh, and in a lot of states, these sobriety tests aren't even legal, so you should also know the law of your state. You know what they say, knowledge is half the battle. Number 4, you just failed a polygraph. I bet a ton of you out there have probably seen all of this crap in movies and TV shows. Unfortunately, cops will say the same damn thing in real life too. Why? Because they want to pressure the person and lead them to confess something in the interrogation room. Here's the thing about lie detector tests. Sometimes they'll pressure you into agreeing to take one, at which point all bets are off. Because when you're done, if you're not an expert and you don't know how to read the stupid thing, the cops can lie to you, tell you that you're guilty, it shows you're guilty, and you may as well just confess to make life easier for yourself or to get a plea bargain later. Now here's the deal. In this particular case, you're definitely going to feel a lot of anxiousness and maybe even be a little shocked, even if you haven't done anything wrong. Cops use this interrogation a lot, especially in raid interrogations where they psychologically manipulate the suspect.
To ensure it is truthful, some of the items the test will cover are criminal activity, drug usage, integrity, truthfulness, and employment history. You are expected to provide truthful and consistent information as reported during the application process.
So how do you deal with this crap? Well, first and foremost, don't fall into the trap. Legally, you've got the right to say no to a polygraph test and cops can't take any steps against you. You should also know the polygraph results are usually not admissible in court. See, most times, cops can't use these results against you in court, so you don't even need to feel anxious about denying it. When they ask you to take this test, you should always use your Fifth Amendment right to remain silent and request your attorney be present. Remember, if you say anything while undergoing this test, cops are going to record it and they can and will try to use it against you in a court of law. Number 5, the biggest lie to pressure people. We already know what you did, so you better start talking now. Here's the deal. This stems from parenting. Because let's be honest here for a second. 9 times out of 10, when we did stupid stuff as kids, what happened? Did our parents really know that we did something idiotic, that we broke the rules? No, they would use this exact same lie. I know what you did. I saw it, so go ahead and confess now. When in reality, they didn't know what the hell was going on, and it's the exact same thing here. So, suppose a jerk-faced cop knocks on your door and you're stupid, you open it for whatever reason, and the cop accuses you of stealing something. Now, obviously you're gonna refute it, but the guy says he already knows what's going on and you should just tell him everything to make things easier for yourself. So maybe it's not at home, maybe it's at a store, maybe you get stopped on the street, because let's be real, racial profiling happens way more than anybody wants to admit. So what do? Well, before you bust out and you say a single thing here, just understand that this cop is trying to manipulate you here. See, this guy is selling you a hot bag of crap, just like your parents did, trying to fish for info, and it's up to you if you want to take the bait. Here's the thing, if you think about it in a logical sense. If this jerkface knows what you did, and that what you did was illegal or against the law, why aren't you in handcuffs instead of talking to this person? Why isn't there a warrant for your arrest or a warrant to search your property or your possessions, right? See, this guy's not doing anything except for interrogating you unlawfully. It means that he doesn't have anything on you. He's just using this tactic to make you nervous and to lead you to implicate yourself in something wrong. And here's the thing, as soon as you start speaking, they're gonna manipulate your conversation. They're gonna fit your words into their narrative to create an entire story against you. Then the story's gonna later be used in court and you're gonna be unable to defend yourself there because they've got it on record that you said all of this. So, what should you do here? Exercise your right to remain silent and keep your mouth shut. Invoke your rights. Tell cops that you're not gonna say a single freaking thing. Even if you haven't done anything, it's just safe to keep your mouth closed and call an attorney. Start recording the situation as well. And don't start defending yourself. Don't be defensive, as that can also be used against you as a form of probable cause. Coming in at number 6. We're going to get an arrest warrant if you don't allow us to search your car or house. See, this is just like lie number 5. Think about your parents. We know where the cigarettes are. You may as well give them to us now. We know where the alcohol is. You may as well give it to us now. We know where the herb is. Give it to us now. We know where X, Y, or Z thing is in your room. You may as well give it to us now and make it easy for yourself. When in reality, they don't know crap until you give everything up and you implicate yourself. Alright, so for this particular instance, let's just say you're chilling on your couch, playing some Madden, cops knock on your door.
Open up.
So you're not gonna open it. You're gonna talk to them through a window or through your mail slot. Now they say they wanted to check your house to ensure that you're not doing anything illegal. You exercise your right and say, you better get a warrant. In response, they're gonna give you this lie in a straight shot, stern, angry tone. You know, we're gonna go and do that. We're gonna get an arrest warrant. We'll be right back. Let us in now and save yourself the trouble. Man, a lot of people get scared and they give officers consent to search their home or their car. They think that if they haven't done anything wrong, there's no reason for cops to search their personal space, right? Think about it for a second. Have you ever wondered why cops are asking for your permission in the first place? I bet you they don't need your permission to arrest you if you've done something wrong. Here's the thing. They could simply come up with a warrant and arrest you without a lot of difficulty. But they can't do this until they've got probable cause against you and they've convinced the judge to issue the warrant in the first place. To have this probable cause, they're gonna have to search your home or your car, and any suspicious thing in that place could allow them to have a warrant against you. So what's the key takeaway here? It's a great big fat catch-22. They want to get a warrant to search your property, they have to have probable cause. But if you're not giving them probable cause, then they can't get a warrant to search your property. See what I'm saying? Y'all remember Gruff McGruff the crime dog? Yeah, in this particular case, just say no. Here's the deal. Policing is a for-profit business in this country, which means cops are always gonna lie to you whenever you interact with them. And the government allows it, so just remember all these tips. Never fall into the empathy and friendly contact/buddy chat trap with a cop. Your 14th Amendment right allows you to remain in a public place except for a very few situations, so enjoy catching your Pokemans. Never indulge in the sobriety test and just remain silent. Don't ever agree to any polygraph test and don't get stressed because of its results. Keep your mouth shut and don't be nervous and blurt anything out if cops say that they already know what you did wrong, because if they did, you'd be arrested. And never give them consent to search your home or car without a warrant, even if they say they're gonna get one. You know what? Call the bluff. Let them. If you want to know more about some of your basic rights, check out some of our other videos. And until next time, stay safe.